Thank you, Rom, for bringing this to my attention, and ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a storm that we are about to get into, and it all comes from this individual right here. Liz Mair says, I have resorted to burning Pokemon cards as a punishment when my kid doesn't do basic stuff he has to do. That right there is already a big yikes. She also replies by saying, the basic stuff is eating. He comes home without having eaten any of his lunch, card burnt. He doesn't eat enough dinner, card burnt. Bear in mind my kid is about 4'6" tall at age 7 and yet weighs less than 55 pounds. He needs to put some weight on, specifically muscle. Okay, so just from reading these two tweets, I already have massive red flags going off here. First of all, you don't discipline your kids by seizing and destroying their stuff. That is how you traumatize them. I'm not a parent, and even I know this. This is basic parenting 101, sweetheart. You want to teach your kids. You want to take proper corrective action, and instead you choose to take destructive action, and who knows what sort of effect this is going to have on your kid down the road. I can already imagine that your kid is probably traumatized from this type of thing. And did you even think about maybe why your kid isn't eating? Maybe your kid has something that is going on behind the scenes that either you don't know about or that you don't care to know about because you don't have a connection with your kid, because likely your kid is probably scared as shit of you. But that's enough out of me. Let's take a look at some responses here. We have ourselves No Answer tweeting out, all you're going to do is traumatize your kid into developing an eating disorder and also probably into never holding on to anything they have a fondness for out of fear of losing it. Maybe actually talk to your kid instead of assuming punishment is a cure-all. Making your kid scared to fuck up out of fear of losing something they love is not teaching them how to forgive themselves and work through personal issues without self-flagellating. That right there, 1,000,000% agree with. This user tweets out in response, burning your 7-year-old child's possessions because he doesn't eat enough is psychotic. He'll have traumas around food and interpersonal relationships for the rest of his life. Amen to that. Salty DK Dan tweets out, have you tried taking them to a health professional instead of burning things they enjoy as punishment? I hear that works better and prevents insane levels of mental illness and trauma. Yeah. Also agreed with that. Wonton Good Soup tweets out, keep the rare Pokemon cards, you'll need to pay for the decades of therapy he'll need. Ouch. But, you know what? Also pretty much valid. Anything can happen on Halloween tweets out, I'm sure he'll form a healthier relationship with food and his body. Yeah, no. At this rate, probably not. Char M also points out, so you're exacerbating what could be an eating disorder and making him hate you. Good job. Yeah, that's also another possibility. Maybe this kid is developing some form of eating disorder, yet you don't have the love and the proper parental techniques and fortitude to be able to see what the true problem is, but instead you resort to destructive discipline that creates fear and trauma rather than understanding and good lessons. Dreamweasel tweets out, did you ever consider the non-zero possibility that your son is on the autism spectrum? Also a good point as well. And there's also an image to accompany this tweet which shows a couple of tweets from the Mother of the Year. Mine has the appetite, but he doesn't get lunch eaten because, surprise, surprise, like his mother, and probably her friend Eric too, he'd rather talk with his friends and hold forth for an hour than eat a sandwich. Ditto at dinner. How exciting to talk about what happened in the Liverpool game or James Bond, or what he saw on cable news, or something he read about sharks for like 20 minutes straight. How boring to eat even his favorite meals without taking an hour to do so. He can chatter. So it seems like she has issues with the fact that her son has, you guessed it, actual interests that he loves to talk about. Now look I understand that being a parent is not easy. It's not hard to figure that out. But you know something else that's not hard to figure out is how to be a good parent and actually connect with your kid, talk with your kid more, engage in their activities more so that you form a close bond, and that way your kid will most likely begin to open up when it comes to the possibility of them having struggles that they have kept repressed for God knows how long. And also understand the frustration of the kid taking their sweet old time when it comes to eating. Rather, they are chatting it up about things that they are interested in, but rather than going to the route of being destructive, which you call discipline, but it's not discipline, sweetheart, maybe you should let the kid know, hey, your food's gonna get cold, and if you end up eating all of your food, then you get a reward or something like that. How about incentivize your kid to do the things that you want your kid to do for their own benefit, so that way there is more incentive and more progress to be had overall, rather than acting like a cold hard bitch. I should also point this out because I got a bit of a chuckle out of this. So someone tries to kiss her ass by saying, "That's good parenting." Yeah, no, buddy, you are 1,000,000% wrong. And Liz responds, "Please tell my husband who thinks I am history's worst monster." I think you meant to say worst there, honey. But yeah, your husband is not wrong. You are a monster, at least in the eyes of your kid. Now, I'm gonna end this video off here with a tweet from Seth Rogen, who says, "Save the valuable ones so they can pay for therapy when they're older." Ouch! When you get roasted by Seth Rogen, ouch, ouch, ouch. But you know what? Karma's a bitch, and so are you, Liz.